mentor, all right? I'm a servant leader, right? He puts people in positions without even knowing it, right? Somebody say, know it. And whether you know it or not, some leaders put you in positions. And so I'm honored and I'm privileged to introduce my personal mentor. Give it up for Mr. Noble Mike Jamison.
Baby, you should enjoy yourself. Boy, stuck me, no help. Look, they say,
let's go. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
So you should enjoy yourself.
Give it up for Noble, let's go.
It's a room full of strap. With the option of Billy, we gon' clap. Boom, some slack.
Alright.
Fuck, you felt like a fat.
Alright.
Man, y'all made it to the end. Say I made it to the end. Listen, we are, first of all, this whole event would not be possible without you all making a sacrifice to come here. So give yourselves a round of applause. Right? So I get the honor to really share with you a couple of different things that I think are important to help you be successful. I personally believe after you attend events like this several times, that normally after 2 or 3 events, you have enough of the tangible skills you need to be successful. Normally, okay? But there's a couple of things that you want to do mentally that'll help you make the adjustment to go to the next level. And so I was sitting in my study, everybody say my office, and I was trying to figure out, like, what is the best topic? How do I label what I'm going to talk about today? And I came up with this brilliant topic. Can y'all see what this is? What did it say? Oh, let me go back. My brilliant topic said, it's not showing on the stage. 3 things that matter what? 3 things that matter what? So in order for my training today to really resonate with you, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. 2 favors. Number 1, take notes. And number 2, respond. Number 1, do what? Number 2, what? All right. So the first thing we do is we got to get on the same page. Okay, here we go. So I want to talk about the law of entropy. Everybody say entropy. I want to talk about the law of entropy. Write this down in your notes. Here's what it means. It don't work when I go over there. Okay, here's what it means. Everything left to itself tends to do what? Move towards what? Tell them it's not working. It moves towards what? Everything left to itself tends to move more and more towards disorder. We've all heard the story of sowing and reaping. If you have a garden, you don't tend to the garden, the weeds do what? Take over. The weeds take over. The weeds take over. And so we understand that. We all understand that process. So understanding what we're talking about right now is going to help you get the concepts I'm going to share with you at the very end. But the first thing we got to know is what the law of entropy means. Let's look at this. Entropy. Things get worse over time unless a what? Unless a what? Unless an outside force acts upon it. This is critical. Things get worse over time unless an outside force acts upon it. So if you take that same garden that you're looking to plant and the weeds are starting to come up, the outside force, who's you, what do you have to do to the weeds? You got to pull them up. You got to pull them up. You become the outside force to protect the garden that you're looking to grow. And without your force being applied to the garden, the weeds do what? Take over. The weeds take over. Write this in your notes. Write this in your notes. Every day is a fight for territory. Every day is a fight for territory. And the moment you get up and don't fight for what you don't want automatically takes over. Every day is a fight for territory. And the moment you get up and decide not to fight, what you don't want automatically takes over. That's what this means. That's what this means. That's why every single day is important to you and to me. Every day is important. Let's look at this. Outside what? Everybody say outside what? Let's look at this. Let's talk about it. So, let me see who we got right here. We got this shirt right here. Gentlemen, what's your name right here, sir? Jesse. Everybody say hi, Jesse. Hi, Jesse. Jesse has on a nice shirt. Would you agree? Yeah. That shirt, before it became a shirt, started out as an idea. Yes. Would you agree with that? Yes. Someone had an idea about a shirt that Jesse has on. Right. They transferred the energy from that idea to say, we're going to find the fabric to make that shirt. Would you agree? Yes. So the energy transferred from the idea to the fabric. Yes. And then somebody had the idea to say, hey, look, we got fabric now. Now we need to make a what? A shirt. So the energy transferred from the fabric to the shirt, correct? Yes. And then the shirt, somebody had to have an idea to have a store to put the shirt in. Would you agree? So the energy transferred from the shirt to where? So the results you have is the result of the energy transfer from one source to the next. Are y'all with me? Idea to the store. Are y'all with me? So watch this. When you look at what you have and where you live right now, it's the result of the energy transfer from the idea to where you live. Right. So if you don't like the way you live right now, it's the result that you created. Right. Are y'all with me? Yeah. What about this? What about, what's that, the car you drive? Yeah. If you don't like the car you drive, it's a result of transferring the energy to energy to energy to the vehicle that you have. Right. Are y'all with me? Yeah. What about this? What about the relationship you're in? The relationship you're in is a result of transferring what? Energy to the energy to the energy to the what? Relationship. What about this? What about your bank account? The bank account that you have is the result of transferring the energy from the energy from the energy to your what? So who's responsible? Who's responsible? Is your sponsor responsible? Is the company responsible? Who's responsible? And it all starts with what? The energy, the idea. Everybody say idea. Look at this. Your results, we talked about this, right? I want to look for them. Go back. All right, what did I say? Somebody read that for me. Say that again. Who have transformed? Who have transformed? Now, can we all agree that on what we just learned so far? So we all agree that we're responsible. Would you agree? Okay, so that's the foundation that we had to lay. So now let's talk about two laws that work hand in hand. So we just talked about entropy, right? Now let's talk about evolution. What is the difference? Entropy says what? Things get worse over time until a force acts upon it, right? Evolution means what? Things get better over time when a force acts upon it. In our industry, we call that personal development. Did y'all know that? Meaning this year, you're better next year because you personally developed. You evolved. You're not the same person you were when you was at the last meeting, because at the last meeting you were one level and you come back as a six-figure earner like Mr. Holistic. Would you say he evolved? Wouldn't you say Lakeisha evolved? Wouldn't you say the new levels, the new earners, they all evolved? But it was an outside force that acted upon it to make it happen. What force was it? It was the event. Y'all heard throughout the whole day. What was it? What was the force that made them change and evolve? What was it? It was the event. Did y'all catch that in the training? They was at an event. They experienced a force. And that force made them evolve into what they became, six-figure earners. In this industry, you are in the process of becoming. Put that in your notes. You are constantly in the process of becoming. So, and it's all ties to force. Everybody say force. Force. Okay, go here. So you must allow the energy, look at this, you must allow the energy from your teachers, coaches, mentors, books to flow to who? To you. To flow to who? Your teachers, coaches, mentors, and books represent the outside force you need to change. They represent the outside force you need for change. Does that make sense? Look at this. Your mind will deteriorate to its lowest possible form if you don't. How many people have met some folks, you had a conversation with them one day, you have another conversation with them later on, and they're talking about the same thing? Am I the only one? They're talking about the same thing. They're deteriorating. They're not growing. They're not evolving. And that's because they have no positive force helping them become. Helping them become. Look at this. What happens if you don't cut your grass, wash your car, or take a shower? What happens if you don't cut your grass? The weeds take over, right? Wash your car, or take a shower. Right? Y'all probably wouldn't be sitting as close to each other now, would you? Be a little different, be spaced out, right? Let's look at this. So here's my conclusion. I told you I was going to give you 3 things today. I was going to give you 3 things today. This is the first one. It doesn't take long. This is the first one. Write this in your notes. The best players have what? I said all that to say the best players have coaches. I said all that to say the best players have coaches. And which you've probably heard throughout the last day and a half, for sure. Just in a different kind of way. You need that outside force to help you evolve. You need it. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to write down in your notebooks right now, what are the last 3 things you purchased? I need you to write down right now in your notebooks, what are the last 3 things that you purchased? And be honest with yourself. What are the last 3 things that you purchased?
Tickets to come here.
What are the last 3 things that you purchased? And be honest with yourself. Here's my follow-up question. Why did you purchase it? Answer this to yourself. The last 3 things that you purchased, ask yourself, why did I purchase it? Right? Why did I purchase it? How many people would agree with this? Because you saw value in them. Would you agree with that? Because you saw value in them, right? Because you saw what? Value. All right, so watch this, watch this. This is critical. We're leading into it. Write this in your notes. Money flows where value what? This is huge. Money flows where value what? You purchased those things because you saw, and that person or persons that received that money because they provided what to you? Value. Money flows to where value what? Comes from. So look at this. Answer this question. This actually is a typo, by the way. I was supposed to change this because it says, if I gave you $1 million, how would you feel? That's a typo. It's supposed to say, if Anthony gave you $1 million, how would you feel? It's a typo. So just ignore what it says. No, ignore the I, right? But I want you to think about this. Think about this, right? If Anthony gave you $1 million, how would you feel? Somebody blurt something out. How would you feel? Blessed? How else? How would you feel? Grateful? How? Come on. What else? How would you feel? Excited? How? What else? Talk to me. Favor. What else we got? Overwhelmed. Relieved. What else? Surreal. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Write those in your notes, by the way. Write those in your notes. Remember, you gain more by writing in your notes. Retired, I heard, right? Okay, amazing. Watch this. Y'all know what that stands for, right? Wait for an answer. That's my cue, right? Wait for an answer. Okay, here we go. Here's another question. What if Anthony said, you know what? I'm going to 10x it. That's a typo. That's a typo. I'm going to 10x it, and instead of giving you $1 million, I'm going to give you $10 million, but you won't wake up tomorrow. Oh, that's the difference. That's it. At all. It's over. It's over. I'm going to give you $10 million, but you won't wake up tomorrow. Is it a different type of feeling? Anybody still going to take the gym? We got a few people that say it's going to live their best life and be gone, right? It's a different type of feeling. Everybody's not as excited, feeling as blessed, but it's more money. It's more money. Somebody said, that's all right. So here's what that tells me. Here's what that tells me. What I draw from that is that you feel like your day is worth at least $10 million. That's what that tells me. That you feel like your day is at least worth $10 million. Because you wouldn't give your life for it. So if you feel like your day is worth $10 million, then why do we spend our time arguing over $2 situations? If you feel like your day is worth $10 million, why are we having a conversation about a $2 situation? Do y'all understand? This makes a big difference on how you process what you experience. If you feel like your day is worth $10 million, we shouldn't have a conversation about a 139 event. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Makes a difference. It makes a difference. Because these are my two granddaughters, right? What would I look like if I feel like my day is worth $10 million and being thrown off arguing about something that's not worth $10 million when I got them to worry about? I got them to worry about. I should be worrying about setting up Endotech accounts for them so they'll be set in the next 20 years. It's a difference on how you process things. We're blessed to have the partnerships we have. There's no reason you shouldn't have an Endotech strategy for every child or grandchild that you have. No reason. No reason. Can you imagine what that account could potentially be with no promises or guarantees in 15 or 20 years for them? Because that's what we say we're doing it for. We say it all the time. Most people say it's kind of cliche-ish, but if you really, really mean it, then you would do it. If you really, really mean it. Would you agree? Okay. Look at this. This is my number 2. You have so much value to give to the world. Would you agree? At least $10 million worth every day. At least $10 million worth every day. Money flows where value what? Comes from. That's number 2. I only got 3 things, I told you. I only got 3 things. Money flows where value what? So your goal is to give more what? Your goal is to give more what? That's it. That's it. Your goal is to give more what? And once you give what flows? What comes? Money. But you first give the what? And then the what comes? Most people want money, but they're doing like this. They're hoarding knowledge. They're hoarding information, but they want more. It's impossible. You have to do what first? Give. Write this down. The receiving process starts with giving. Write it down. The receiving process starts with giving.
So at the break,
yesterday, I had someone come up to me, ask me a couple of questions, right? I didn't know him, and it doesn't matter. I shared in the training 2 years ago that I believe that if we're going to take iGenius to $1 billion company, write this down, you must be lineage agnostic. And Kane gave me a hard time because he asked me to spell it and I couldn't. But I know what it means. You must be lineage agnostic. That means it doesn't matter whose team you're on. If you and iGenius, we're here to win. So someone came to me and asked me a couple of questions about trading. I haven't been the best trader up until the last 2 years. The first 3 years, I sucked at it. But the last 2 years, I've been amazing. So I could answer his question during the break, and when I got to my room, there was a card slid under the door for his appreciation that he left me, for showing him how to execute the trade, opening up the app, taking the time to show what? Value. Come on. Taking the time to show value to somebody that I didn't even know, and it didn't matter, is my point. Because money flows where what comes from. And if you look at his note, about halfway down the page, it says, thank you as well for your offer to show me your filter on the phone. It is kind of you to offer a what? Valuable resource. A what resource? Right there. Living proof. Living proof. That's all you got to do. And if you look at the very end, how he ended this thank you note, this is amazing. It basically says, if you need anything, I'll be there to help you. If you look at how it ends, right? Right? That's basically how it ends. Write this in your notes. And I think I heard Rakan train on this as well. Not in this session, but in another session. Proximity is important. And in what we do, proximity is actually currency in what we do. So being close to who's doing it is valuable enough. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be fiat money. So you being in the room is currency. You're going to get paid for it at some point. Does that make sense? Yeah. Which is why it's so difficult to take this experience back to somebody else. Because being here is the currency. Are y'all with me? Yeah. All right, you're going to bring this home. Okay. What I discovered. Here's what I discovered. Last one. You are not going to have success without, everybody say it loud. You are not going to have success without what? That's my last one. Number 3. You are not going to have success without what? Okay. So let's break this down. Mr. Holistic know we like the etymology of words. Ain't that right, brother? Yes. Confidence is what? Let's look at it. The root word is to confide, which means to what? Trust. It means to trust. It's critical. Don't miss this. It's the last point for the day. Trust. Okay, look at this. The reason most people don't have success is because they don't trust who? All right, watch this. Y'all don't get mad at me. I'm just going to speak the truth, okay? The reason most people don't have success is because they don't what? Who? You're saying, how is that possible? How is that possible, Noble Mike? Let me share with you this. Look at this. Why don't they trust themselves? That's the question you should be asking yourself. You see other people ranking up. You ever heard somebody say, oh, man, such and such ranking up. I should be what? Ranking up. Oh, you see such and such winning in trades. OBG winning in trades. I should be what? Winning in trades. They feel that way. But the reason why they're not winning, watch this. The only person who has ever heard every lie that you've ever told is who? You. The only person that has ever heard every lie that you've told is who? You. 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 Right? So the reason you don't trust yourself is because you done heard yourself lie so many times. You done heard yourself lie so many times. I'm going to do this, and you what? Don't do it. I'm going to show up, and you what? Don't show up. I'm going to get on the call, and you what? Don't get on the call. Can I keep going? Okay. Y'all mad at me? Okay. I don't care. So, here we go. Look. Have you broken your word so many times in the past that you don't believe a word that you say? You've broken your word so many times that you don't believe a word you say. What do you think the prospect believes? If you don't believe yourself, what do they think? It's impossible to expand your network if you can't trust you. Impossible. Impossible. So the only way to do that, watch this. When our group decided to make a decision to join this company, I did what Alex did. This mic going out too? I did exactly what Alex did. I made a phone call. I said, hey, it's time to make a move. This was September of 2017. Didn't get many questions. I said, hey, look, we got to show up in Vegas and we got to show up in force. We showed up in Vegas in September 2017, and we took this picture on stage. The team did. My whole team, right? But here's the thing I want to share with you. Remember, we're talking about confidence. This is my last topic, right? If you look at this picture, there's quite a few people there. Would you agree? We're probably about half the room, right? We're probably about half the room. There's probably, matter of fact, this is what we're going to do. If you were at this event and in this picture, I want you to stand up on my team. If you were at this event and in this picture, I want you to stand up. We got there. We got Ron right there. Warren. That's Joe. Al. I have a seat. Here's my point. That's 5. I've counted. I looked at the photo. There are 5 people from 5 years ago that was at this event that said that we're going to be here for the long haul. It's 5 still here, right? It's 5. So the mission never changes, but the faces may change. The mission never changes, but the faces may change. But for those that stick around, if you notice, over 50% of the people that stood, they're 6-figure ring earners because they're still here. They're still here. They're still here. Which is crazy, right? When you follow through on your word, this is your notes. This is how you get the confidence. Because you got to build the confidence if you don't have it in order to have success. When you follow through on your what? You begin to create a what? With who? Okay, let's walk it. When you follow through on your what? You begin to create a what? With who? All right. You create a bond with yourself. Listen, your appointment with destiny is already set. It's just up to you to keep the appointment. Your appointment with destiny is already set. It's up to you to keep the appointment. Do y'all understand that? You not following up on your what is delaying your success. It's delaying your success. Because the moment you affirm that something you want, God finds a way to make it happen. And the moment you don't follow up, you're just delaying what's on its way to you. You're delaying it. Energy, 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 result. We started off with that, right? It all ties together. So in order to put yourself on the path for success, you must follow what? Your word. Whose word? Your word. Your word. Okay. Y'all still with me? Now, once you do that, you can do what? You can trust yourself. If you can trust yourself, then other people can do what? Trust you. If you can trust yourself, then other people can trust you. and they will follow you as a result of that. If you say, I'm going here, guess what they're doing? If you say, I'm reading this, guess what they're doing? Y'all get it? But it starts with who? It starts with you. It starts with you.